Anthony Richardson benched. Former Gator quarterback is benched after just starting 10 games. After being first round draft pick, fourth pick overall just 2 years ago, has been benched. But I'm going to tell you why I think it's actually a good thing for Anthony Richardson. If he's able to bounce back and handle this adversity, it could be monumental for his career. Roll the intro, baby. We're vibing. Good to see you. Welcome back to another episode of Hightop Sports. So, like I mentioned in the intro there, Anthony Richardson has been benched for 77-year-old Joe Flacco. Yeah, the old man is still got it in Joe Flacco. Now, a couple things to unpack here. Has not had a great start to this season. Again, only 10 starts under his belt. And for us Gator fans, a lot of us been following this along. It's super excited for Anthony Richardson. Love the fact that he went to Indianapolis early on. Super supportive, all those great things. But I think if you told me, hey, he's not going to look so great in these first 4 games, he might not be able to hit a slant pass, he might be able to do some of these things, I would have told you, yeah, I totally agree. We saw just not too long ago, given the fact that he only had, I think, 10 or 12 starts under his belt in the collegiate career. So I'm not surprised that Anthony Richardson is at this point, this far into his career, given the fact that he was knocked out very early on last year with an injury. He's essentially a rookie headed into this year. Okay, so 4-4 on the season. He's essentially got 8 true starts, and not even this year. He hasn't started every single game this year. So he's really having he hasn't completed a full rookie year yet. So I'm not surprised that he has having all these struggles, given the fact that, again, just the last game, he went 2 for 15, touchdown, and an interception. Not all on him. Go back, look at that film. A lot of drop passes. Line wasn't necessarily 100% there, but Jonathan Taylor was able to get his runs as well. He's got to get better at stepping up into the pocket. His pocket presence has always been a concern, even again, as a Florida Gator. Anthony Richardson can sling the ball at 900 yards when he wants to. It's incredibly fast, incredibly athletic, has the inability to break down the defense, sometimes hit the easy throws, overthinks things, jittery in the pocket. None of these things surprise me. Where everything kind of went awry was the tap out. On a second and long, makes a big run, runs for 70 yards, nowhere north of the line of scrimmage, just east and west, nowhere going in the right direction, gets tackled. I think he's injured, right? You see him hit the head tap, and I know the head tap is like, I need to sub out, and I've never seen a quarterback hit him with one of these. You know what I'm saying? I go, is he good? Did I get hit in the head? Like, that's what I'm thinking when I see this. And then he's just standing on the sideline, like, watching, like, not needed to breathe, boys. I'm good. Just needed a quick second. Like, you're the quarterback, kid. You can't do this, right? And everybody, and when I mean everybody, led into him, especially Mr. Pat McAfee, who isn't one to voice his opinions about certain players, especially when it comes to the Colts, and especially for somebody that he was extremely high on. He loved himself, this time Anthony Richardson. Go back last year, he was hyping this man up, said that Anthony Richardson is the guy that can turn an organization around. This is the guy that we need in this building. This is the guy that's going to get the Colts back to where we need to be. That's what he was saying just last year because of his ability to sling the rock. Even this year, we saw a big play from Anthony Richardson. Here we go. He's back. He's rolling. That's always been Anthony's thing. He can sling the rock. You got 6 guys on him. He'll throw a ball out of nowhere, right? But he's being called out because of lack of leadership, lack of dog in him, the lack of fight. And you can struggle, and I'll ride with you, and I'll do all these things with you. I'll believe in you. I'll let you go through the struggles, the growth of a freshman rookie quarterback. But if you quit on yourself before I can quit on you, we got a problem. Boys and girls, this is the part of the show where I make you look just a little more sexier moving forward, okay? Anywhere worth going is worth going in a nice pair, the perfect pair of boots from Tacovas. In the 2015, Tacovas was born out of Texas, created the perfect pair, handcrafted this beautiful, sexy piece of leather to go over your foot to make your wife or your husband go, damn, baby. That's what Tacovas does for you, okay? And not only that, what makes them so fantastic is their experience when you go to the store. You are treated like royalty. They roll out the red carpet. You walk in, beverage in hand. What can I do for you today, sir? Bam! Want one of those. Try them on. Rock and roll. Look good. Feel good. Play good, baby. That's what Tacovas does for you. We are pumped to be teamed up with Tacovas. So be sure to go check out Tacovas. Head on over to Tacova right now. Use the code Oh, don't use the code. What you're going to do is right now, 10% off at tacovas.com/hightop when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at tacovas.com/hightop. Not the code slash, right there. So tacovas.com/hightop. See site for details. Tacovas, point your toes west. That's what happened on Sunday is he quit on himself before anybody else could even quit on him. And if you're already into that mindset that you're tired and you need to take a break, 8 games into the season, I understand you're dealing with a little bit of injury. We've got a bigger issue at hand here. Your approach to the game has an issue. Your focus has an issue. But like I said at the beginning of the intro, I believe this is good for Anthony Richardson. Because I also have made multiple points that they take these young quarterbacks with little to none experience in college football in a very loose system, not all, but some, and throw them into the fire. Throw them into these NFL arenas, expecting them to be him very quickly, very early on. Some organizations, like the Josh Allen approach, will allow for the 3 to 4 year development. Understand the growth. Understand the pain that comes with it. But when you go get someone like a Joey Burrow, when you go get someone like a Trevor Lawrence, generational quarterbacks, these guys were quoted coming out of college football, those guys have a little more of an expectation coming into it. Caleb Williams is another one. I don't expect Caleb Williams to get too much time of growth. Could have been a 2-time Heisman winner, right, if he didn't slack off at the end there. Had a ton of a collegiate experience, was phenomenal throughout his college career, slacked towards the end there. He was supposed to come in and be generational. And sometimes like guys like Anthony Richardson, who do not come in with the same pedigree as those other guys I just mentioned, are held to that same standard. And now we're trying to shorten the lease and get everybody they find in the first round like, hey, they're going to be that guy. Patty Mahomes, 12th, 13th, I think, 13th round pick, didn't come in right away either. Sat behind good old Alex Smith, a.k.a. the Joe Flacco effect, right? Coming in behind a veteran experience like Joe Flacco, and you could argue, well, he was there last year. Sure, true, maybe, but he dealt with an injury. Probably didn't look at it, approach it the same way that he would have if he was to be benched, right? Now, that's an issue in itself, but when you're out with an injury, you don't feel like, well, I lost this job. Or I feel like, okay, I can earn this. There's no fight. There's no wheels turning. You're kind of going through the motions. And I'm not excusing that. That's also another issue because you should have been grinding. You should have taken that first year of you being injured as an opportunity for you to get better, to understand the game outside of just the feel of it, but up here as well. But it did not. This, I feel, could be a big monumental moment for Anthony Richardson. Have spoke with this young man. Think he's a great kid. Has a great head on his shoulders. Seems to be motivated when he is speaking. I think he has the talent, right? His pocket presence needs a ton of growth. Hopefully Joe Flacco, one of the best in the game, can sling that rock, has obviously a ton of experience and championship experience, can give him that. I think we've gotten away from that. These quarterbacks developing, we've thrown them into the fire too much, was to stunt that growth. This, again, could be huge for him if he's able to learn from it. If he can take this on the chin, respectfully so, manage it, take it with stride. Again, the fact that we got people kind of Pat McAfee throwing that first bow across the bow was surprising to me, just given how vocal he has been in his support. And for also, he's not one to usually get too spicy and rowdy, but it is his Colts. And you see that fanatic come out of yourself, even when you are someone like a Pat McAfee on ESPN, who has to keep that even keel. That fanatic comes out and it starts throwing some bows of like, it's supposed to be my guy. And he's quitting on me and he's quitting on the rest of the team. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is this the end of AR? I saw some people kind of locked on Colts and these other programs that are super close, obviously, to Colts organization. It's a different mentality when you're in it. I'm on the outside looking from over here, and I'm not as emotionally connected to it. But I'm also on the other side of the Florida football side of things where I know where you're in it and you're just like, it's over. The AR experience is done for. We're moving on back to the big board. What quarterbacks can we go after here? Let Joe Flacco run with this thing. Another argument you could make is, yeah, hey, we're supposed to give Anthony Richardson time, but the Jags aren't as good as they were supposed to be. The Houston is an opportunity to get it done. The Titans aren't that good. The Colts have an opportunity to take a run at their division here, and maybe that's what has kind of elevated them to not be as patient with Anthony, given the circumstances of where their team is at. And right now, Joe gives you the best opportunity to win when you really didn't anticipate to be at this point, at this far in their rebuilding process. So I get that. Is it the best for the long term? I don't know. I don't get paid enough to make those big time decisions. So I want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts? Is he done? Is this good for him? Is this on him? Should they have waited longer? There's so many different avenues to look at. I think the biggest thing that everyone's going to point to is him tapping out. Quit on me. I quit on you. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. We'll see you boys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.